Today, I want to talk about how it seems like some banks have run out of cash. We've had more and more hedge funds collapsing, and the DTCC has just posted a notification demanding that institutions let them know immediately of reportable events. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I'll dive straight in with the key information. So, just Dario tweeted saying today the DTCC put out a weirder notice to remind members they have one business day to declare a reportable event. Now this came after their notice yesterday from the DTCC of BNP Paribas failing to pay interest on their bonds. This isn't just some random Chinese bank or Chinese property developer, this is BNP Paribas, one of the largest European banks. As just Dario tweeted, he said another weird one from the DTCC. Did BNP, the underwriter of this municipal bond, not have the cash to pay in time at month end? You can see here this notice says that participants are advised that NSCC, through its agent, has received notification from the underwriter that the following QSIP on the above mentioned issue, originally scheduled for a payout date on the 31st of October, has been postponed. NSCC on this occasion will not take any action on the postponement, but please adjust your accrued interest balances to this specific amount and specific date. So it seems BNP Paribas did not have the cash to make that interest payment on the 31st of October and had to wait until they got more cash through the door. And as a result, they've had to specifically remind members that all banks and institutions have just one business day to declare a reportable event. And they've included a specific passage that says, for the avoidance of any doubt, this will require sponsoring members to report to the FICC any significant change or deterioration in the financial or operational condition of any of its sponsored members. Clearly, BNP Paribas had a significant change or deterioration in their financial health, and maybe they did let the FICC know in that one day, but maybe they forgot. Either way, whether they told them or didn't tell them, if BNP Paribas are facing significant financial difficulties, that's a massive cause for concern. It seems these banks are struggling to meet their liquidity needs and therefore struggling to meet margin requirements. And this is interesting because that notice came just one day after this headline that says HSBC and BNP Paribas may face criminal charges over short selling. Now this is specifically in Korea, but it seems that even BNP Paribas are illegally short selling stocks. It says HSBC and BNP Paribas may face criminal charges in Korea for the naked short selling they allegedly conducted in the country, as FSS, which I guess is the Korean regulators, seeks to impose the heaviest penalty possible. And the Financial Supervisory Service said criminal punishment seems possible. And apparently even the FSS will even be able to pull in employees from abroad for punishment. It says Hong Kong-based units of two global investment banks conducted naked short selling in securities between 2021 and 2022. So this article is telling us that one, even banks like BNP Paribas still commit naked short selling. And number two, that crime didn't happen 20, 30, 40, 50 or 60 years ago. It happened last year in 2021 and 2022. And also that BNP Paribas are actually struggling to make interest payments. Now I also wanted to quickly recap today's SPY options trade in the Millionaire Mindset trading group. We can see the S&P 500 was on track to break the pre-market high and push upwards. I actually jumped into this trade early because I saw the 1348 moving average also crossing upward on strong volume. I alerted this in the trading group at not 9:32 or 9:33 when that resistance broke. I alerted back at 9:31 when the 1348 crossed upwards and the S&P 500 continued to run higher. Looking at the specific option, we can see that it ran from a low of 72 cents up to a high of $1.26 for a whopping 75% gain. And guys, if you want to be making 75% gains day in and day out, be sure to join the Millionaire Mindset trading group linked in the description below. And on top of that, Planet of the Apes has also added saying there's loads of great headlines coming out lately, such as a former Credit Suisse banker who's personally filed for bankruptcy. On top of that, you've obviously got HSBC and BNP Paribas facing criminal charges over short selling. You've also got that Canadian hedge fund that was suspended by the OSC after taking on significant losses and significant FTDs, where their portfolio manager sadly passed away, and also O'Day Asset Management shutting down. In just the last few days, we've seen some killer headlines over short sellers, and I, for one, hope these headlines continue. And not only continue, but work their way up the chain to more significant and renowned short sellers like Citadel Securities. And Biotech Moose has also updated the short selling wall of shame with O'Day Asset Management. You can see this wall is now full of those hedge funds that have gone bankrupt or have lost significant portions of their hedge fund as a result of short selling stocks like AMC and GameStop. We've got Tiger Global, we've got 3AC, we've got Tyborn Asset Management, we've got Mudrick Capital, we've got Anchorage, Melvin, Archegos, Graticule Asia, Credit Suisse, and now O'Day Asset Management. Who is going to be next up on this wall of shame? Is it going to be Citadel, or are other smaller fries going to fall first? And more importantly, will Biotech Moose actually have to make this wall even bigger to fit on more and more hedge funds? And as usual, the paid-off mainstream media is still trying to put out more and more FUD articles. Check out this one comparing AMC to Cinemark Holdings. They posted one article saying that Cinemark Holdings has had an excellent third quarter at the box office and their earnings are expected to grow. But somehow that excellent third quarter at the box office means negative earnings for AMC. I, for one, didn't know that having a killer third quarter could be good for some companies, but yet bad for other companies. I think this is just typical FUD from the mainstream media, and I think that AMC once again is going to beat their earnings estimates. This, I think, would be like the 7th, 8th or 9th earnings beat in a row, which is obviously brilliant for AMC. Now, you may have also seen the new lawsuit against AMC suggesting the board of directors breached their fiduciary duties. So Nate tweeted saying, if somebody used my company name to create hundreds of billions in fake money and fake securities, I'd be madder than mad. And he thinks it's Adam Aron's fault that he didn't stop these crypto platforms. As this post shows, Bittrex had 625 million supposedly one-for-one backed tokenized AMC shares. FTX also had 400 million on top of that. Citibank had Brazilian BDRs up to the tune of 512 million. And there was dozens more UK holding companies with weird AMC related names, suggesting that even just between these three entities, the float was at least sold 3 times over. I replied to Nate saying I agree, it's bad these crypto companies were committing fraud. But what exactly is Adam Aron going to do? Write Bittrex or FTX a nice friendly letter saying, please stop committing securities fraud or I'll tell the SEC. Or one better, maybe Adam Aron could have gone directly to the SEC and FINRA to ask them for help, which he specifically did 2 or 3 times. But obviously we know the SEC and FINRA are also corrupt. Let's not forget, Adam Aron doesn't control the stock market, he doesn't control the crypto markets, he doesn't control Citadel, he doesn't control the Fed, and he doesn't control President Biden or Gary Gensler. The best Adam Aron can do is write a strongly worded letter to FTX and Bittrex or to the SEC and FINRA, which he did, but by now we know the SEC don't ever do anything. I personally think the board of directors did their fiduciary duties to improve AMC as a company, which is proved in AMC's revenues and profits. What Adam Aron can't do is control President Biden or Citadel or the stock market and make AMC whatever price he wants. Let's remember that Adam Aron is just a CEO. He's not the president and he's not Superman, and he can't control the price of the stock market. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.